Okay, I came across a post with an inquiry about a company that has 4,800 square feet of office space for their services company. They own the building, but they have an extra 2,000 square feet that is set up with 10 cubicles, 4 hot desks, and 2 private office. So about 20 members. And they're thinking about making it a co-working space. So they have keyless entry already on the exterior doors. They have easy parking, a guest Wi-Fi system, monitors at the workstations, and a single serve fancy coffee machine that can do coffee, tea, espresso, etc. The COO is concerned that the employees of the services company will be distracted by the additional coworkers. So let's talk first about, is this a good idea? I think it's a great idea. There are so many things going for this model. 4,800 square feet is actually not very big for a co-working space. It's somewhat challenging to make that kind of space profitable unless it's really office dense or unless you have some other revenue source that is bringing in a lot of revenue, like event space, etc. So I'm not saying it can't be, but when you do the pro forma, if you are trying to put a full-time staff in 4,800 square feet, tricky. So you have 2,000 square feet, which is just about right for 20 members. And the great thing about this setup is the services company probably has an office manager type of person who can manage the co-working space, manage onboarding, offboarding, getting people set up in the systems, maybe some of the sales funnel tasks that need to be done as well. So it's not a full incremental cost. You could allocate some hours from that office manager to the co-working LLC, and then it's not a full-time role, but that role is covered in the space. I always love ownership because there's no middleman. You're not paying rent. You're paying directly to the mortgage. You're building equity. There's so much to love about that. The technology is really in place. So a couple of things, you're going to have to figure out how to bill your members. I would keep it really simple. You don't need anything really fancy. You can figure out how to manage the meeting room access and that kind of thing, which is usually kind of a specialty of the co-working software functions, but you're going to pay too much, I think, on a monthly fee to sign up for one of those for 20 members. So I would an app that does recurring billing and figure out the meeting room reservation functionality separately. One risk that I want to point out is that it is no easier to market to 20 people than it is to 200 people. Okay, maybe a little bit, but you still have to set up a website, a Google business listing, and a sales funnel that someone is monitoring and paying attention to. So I often see happen when people are kind of multitasking like this is nobody owns the sales funnel. So nobody's responding to the leads, nobody's updating the leads in the CRM. I think you should still have a CRM. You could do it in a Google spreadsheet, but it's hard to have transparency around there. So you might want to outsource this or just make it truly part of someone's job and it's part of their KPIs, and the sales funnel gets reviewed a couple times a week with a manager as if it's a real true responsibility to follow up with leads and manage the pipeline, do a little marketing, etc. You're only looking to fill 20 seats, so it shouldn't be impossible, but it is not an if you build it, they will come scenario. That never happens. So you still will have to work to sell to 20 people. That being said, you might have other businesses in your network that would make great members. And so you may be able to leverage word of mouth and not have to rely so much on, kind of a typical sales funnel, but something absolutely to think through. The concern of this, I think, is unfounded. So here's the thing about co-working. I think sometimes there's kind of this perception that co-working spaces can be, rowdy or supposed to be social, etc. But look, if you're charging membership fees, those people have real jobs and they need to be productive and they need to produce. So they're not coming in to mess around. The other thing I would say is that you're going to exude a culture that your prospective members will pick up on. So they'll come in for a tour and they'll get the vibe that, okay, this is a place to get work done. We're not going to come in here and play foosball or whatever all day. Co-working members are not doing that because they have real jobs and they have accountability. So generally that's not happening. And I'm not saying, never say never, but you are also going to have a tone, a vibe that people will pick up on and they'll opt into. They'll either like kind of what you have going on already or not. And I actually think adding external people to the space can add some energy, can add to the vibe, and it might actually be fun for your existing team to have other people to network with, go out after work with, etc. It might make it even more fun for them to come to the office. So I think there are a lot of reasons for this to be a thumbs up.